company. So we are very proud to be the only ones to have these two claims, all these claims. And lastly are the osteoarthritis and inflammatory claims. We, at 1 soft gel a day, we are allowed to claim a reduction in pain associated with osteoarthritis, as well as a reduction of C-reactive protein, which is a non-clinical inflammatory marker. All of these claims are actually listed on our website, mynko.com, which you could refer to, and is in reference to the 500 milligram dose of NKO. And just to basically summarize everything that I've said, what is unique about Neptune krill oil is that the omega-3s are attached to phospholipids, and we have the esterified astaxanthin molecule that's found in the product as well. We have demonstrated a superior bioavailability by a bioavailability study, like done by independent CRO, which proves the superiority over ethyl esters, over fish oils, and over other blends. The significant dose is a very small and effective dose of about 500 milligrams. And all of our publications that have been peer-reviewed and published, validated safety and stability. We actually have a shelf life of 3 years, which is still to be met by any of our competitors. And then we have multinational regulatory approval over in Australia, in Canada, in the US, and in Europe. And I've already talked about our patents and our health claims in Canada. So I'd like to thank everyone for their attention, and I'd be more than willing to take questions or comments right now.
Okay, everybody, I just wanted to remind you, if you have some questions, there's the raise hand button that you can press, and we will then unmute you when we see your hand is raised for some questions for Dr. Massrieh.
Either that I was really clear or nobody heard what I said.
Dr. Massrieh?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we have a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people, when they take fish oils, they do experience the burping or the aftertaste. In krill oil, I know that you explained that one of the differences is because you're taking less overall. Is there some other reasons why you may not get any reflux or any taste or aftertaste when taking a krill oil product?
Yeah. Yes, thank you for that question. In addition to, as you said, the smaller dose, the fact that the phospholipids are absorbed, phospholipids are a unique molecule in the fact that they have both a polar head and a non-polar head. Without getting too much details into the science, this allows the phospholipids to be absorbed much more easily into the digestive system, whereas the triglycerides have a much longer residence time in the stomach and in the intestine. So yes, the fact that the omega-3s are attached to phospholipids is definitely a big contributor to the fact that there is no experience of reflux that a lot of the fish oil consumers experience. And it's in fact one of the best things. I wouldn't want to say the best things about the product, but it is definitely a big generator of comeback or resales, because once somebody tries it and don't experience that, they're very happy to stick with that product.
Thank you. Again, a reminder to participants to raise their hand and to ask a question, and we'll be able then to unmute you so you can ask your question to Dr. Massrieh. While we're waiting for that, we have another question. Dr. Massrieh, can you just speak on contraindications with other medications, like perhaps blood pressure medications, NSAIDs, or any anti-inflammatories?
Yeah. We do get that question quite a bit, and obviously we are not in a status where we could recommend the dose of the blood thinners that can be taken concomitantly, but we always recommend that the doctors do monitor their patients while they're taking Neptune krill oil, and to recommend an equivalent dose for the blood thinners. So yes, they can be taken at the same time simultaneously, but the doctor has to monitor the patients for the blood thinning effect. And what usually happens is that the doctor would bring in the patient for a meeting, and they would take their INR, and they start the dose, and they would schedule a very like a meeting that is very short, so that the INR does not get a time to go down or too long. So that's it.
Okay, Dr. Massrieh, we have another question. It's a room full of questions, and hopefully some of the questions we're asking will be typical type questions that people would really like the answers to. Okay, this is a good question regarding fish oils and other vegetarian sourced oils that claim to be omega-3, 6s, and 9s. With krill oil, it's only omega-3. So why are 6 and 9, or where is it that 6 and 9 play a role, and perhaps should they be supplemented separately, or is it that just omega-3 is sufficient?
Okay. 2 points. There is, in fact, omega-6 and omega-9 in the product, but they are not found at high levels. Now, the omega-6 is basically a pro-inflammatory molecule. In the Western society, our diet has so much omega-6 that there is no need for an additional source of omega-6, because all that it would do is raise the pro-inflammatory status of your inflammatory status of your body. So omega-3s, what they're in fact doing is reducing the inflammatory status to healthy levels. So in other cultures where the omega-6 and omega-9 are not as high, it would make sense to take an omega-3, 6, and 9 supplement. But mostly in the Western society, and it is not required, just because our natural diet, not only is it high in omega-6, but it's also very low in omega-3.
Okay, we have another question here from Marilyn. So Marilyn, what I will do is put you on. Okay, Marilyn?
I'd like to know how much children should take.
The children dose we recommend that 1 soft gel, and it's usually after the age of 6 years old. There are actually, it could be as low as 300 milligrams, but that's another thing that a doctor has to recommend. But we have children that take the product at 500 milligrams starting at the age of 6. In fact, the claims that were given by Health Canada were given for adolescents, which starts at the age of 6.
I'm sorry, what was the last comment?
I said that in the Health Canada claims that were given to us were approved for adolescents, and that is the age beyond 6 years.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, I would really recommend. It is something that, especially for children, these days, it is very helpful for children that are going to school that have trouble focusing and being alert and all that. It's really, we have heard many anecdotal stories, in addition, obviously, to the clinical study that I just showed you, but we have a lot of anecdotal stories of how beautifully this product works on children in helping them achieve better, grades and concentration and at school. We, in fact, have a leaflet of testimonials that we could also forward to you through Biomed of all of these testimonials of how beautifully the product works in all of the domains.
Dr. Massrieh, again, two other questions. Number one, has there been any studies or any indications for animal dosage? I know a lot of dogs, for example, and cats are on fish oils. And the second question is, are there any studies that you're working on at this time that will be published at some point in the future?
Okay, so for the first question, yes, I know a lot of cats and companion animals that are supplementing omega-3s, and even though we do not have any clinical studies that have been done, we do recommend specific doses of Neptune krill oil for companion animals, and it is usually a lower dose than that, and it depends really on the delivery form of whether the product is in the chewables or in other formats. And then for the second part of your question, which was any clinical studies, whether any clinical studies are ongoing right now. Yes, we have at least 2 clinical studies that are ongoing right now that once the results have come out, we will be publishing. And that is definitely something that is going to be coming out in the near future.
Excellent, thank you. And I have one other question. Pregnant women, what is the dosage, and is it suitable for women who are pregnant and breastfeeding?
Once again, whenever it comes to these kind of questions, which are obviously more of the doctor's recommendation, it is not, we cannot do a specific recommendation, but we always say the doctor has to monitor. Yes, we have a lot of patients that are pregnant and nursing that take the product, and in fact, I personally think it's a really great idea for women at that age, at that stage, to be taking the product, because the first 9 months during the pregnancy and as well as after, that is the most important time for the development of the brain of the child, and the DHA, the phospholipids, the EPA that are found in this product are really important, and you would not want any other product to be used for such a purpose except for a product that has high phospholipids with DHA and EPA and astaxanthin. So yes, it is possible for pregnant women and nursing women to be taking it. If they have to be taken under the recommendation of their doctors. And one thing that I will say, actually, let me add something here, because a concern for pregnant women is usually the heavy metals, and that's why a lot of doctors sometimes hesitate to recommend a fish oil because of the higher amounts of heavy metals and toxins that are found in fish oils. Now, the beauty about Neptune krill oil is because the krill is at the very bottom of the food chain. It does not have time to accumulate as many toxins and pesticides and heavy metals as fish oils do. So when you look at our specifications, we actually have some of the tightest and lowest specifications when it comes to these, and we abide to the